We're thrilled that this awesome trail is complete and ready for prime time. I'll repeat some things that have already been said, but after 12 years of planning, 6 years of construction, $63 million of federal transportation funding and private donations, it's time to get down on it.
As a city of dreamers, and a city of doers, and a city of partners, we need to stop believing in our restrictive and outdated mythology. We are a city that takes risks. Building an NFL stadium without a team is risky. Digging up downtown for a transformative mall before you have financing is risky. And I hate to admit it, but I think the cultural trail was risky, even though I denied it to my board of directors over and over again. We are a city that is creative and innovative. We are the city that reinvented the Super Bowl. We have many, many top leaders working on reinventing education, and they're gaining national attention. And we have reinvented how city streets feel and how they work, and how people biking and walking and people in wheelchairs experience their city. You know, cities on both coasts need to shut up and come to Indianapolis and learn how to create community. You know, a few of my foundation colleagues have lovingly accused me of creating a project that can be celebrated over and over again, year after year. You know, and they're right. We've had 5 or 6 of these ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings, and I think the sunshine came out once during all of those.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Katrina and I love to travel. And one of the things that we do when we go to a new city is to walk around the central area or the historic district of that city and look at the museums and the icons and so on. And here in Indianapolis, both locals and visitors will have that wonderful opportunity to see so many of the museums and other icons just by walking along 7 or 8 miles of our downtown area.
A big part of the cultural trail is public art. The idea behind the cultural trail, as you all know, since you're all friends of the trail, is to create a journey that is inspiring as any of the destinations. In fact, to create a journey that's so inspiring that it becomes a destination. And public art is a big part of that. We have 3 wonderful pieces of public art on this corridor. And one of the things that I've learned about public art is that it's almost as complicated as building a cultural trail.
And now it's my great privilege to welcome my wonderful friend, my board member, and a key member of the Glick family and the Glick family philanthropies, Marilyn.
Thank you. I am thrilled, honored, and so happy to be here and to see all of you here today. Before I begin any remarks, I'd like to recognize the other board members of the Glick Family Foundation who are here today. David Barrett, Jim Bassesi, Tom Grandy, Arlene Grandy, and Jackie Barrett. For our family to see this dream become a reality, I really can't even begin to describe to you what that means to us. I'm looking at my nephews Brian and Ben Grandy. And for our generation, for their generation, for future generations, This is something that everyone in our city has access to and will bring greater pleasure to so many. And thank you for letting us be part of that.
Becky Archibald is a local jazz pianist and composer. The Central Indiana Community Foundation commissioned Becky to write a jazz-inspired theme for today's celebration. Becky and this ensemble of 11 other local jazz musicians will now perform the world premiere of the Cultural Trail theme.
This project wasn't a Republican or Democratic idea. It was about the people of Indianapolis. And it sends a message that the best outcomes are the results of positive collaboration. The Cultural Trail was up against 1,400 other proposals from around the country. Proposals that sought to build and repair infrastructure, to contribute to our economic recovery, and improve our quality of life, to bring jobs and opportunities to communities. And that's exactly what you all have done here. And that's why we were at the top of the list. I'm honored to have helped secure close to $21 million for this project through the Department of Transportation. Ray's a former member, he can appreciate that statement.
You know, what Brian said is really true. It's hard to be out there. It's hard to have the idea. I wonder if it's going to happen. But it really does take 1, 2, 3, 4 people to kind of put things together and see what the possibility is, and then go forward. And then it didn't take me very long to figure out that you bring one person along, then you get a second one, and it takes a lot of convincing to do that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you get somebody who sees that vision with you, and then they're on your side, and you're moving forward, and all of a sudden big things happen.
Partnership that we've had with your congressmen, with your mayors, in the efforts to really give the people of Indianapolis, give the people of this community an opportunity to have transportation options, transportation alternatives. And I know there's a big debate raging about where this guy is going. There's a big debate raging about transit and more transportation and more options for people. You'll never go wrong providing people transportation options. You won't. And you'll always, what Andre said is correct, you'll always be an attraction for people to come to your community if you have good transportation, if you have good options. How are you going to get young people to come back to the community? Thank you. How are you going to get young people to come here and move into these apartments or condos or whatever these are? This kind of cultural trail is not only an opportunity for recreation, it's an economic corridor for more housing, for more small businesses. We played a very small part in this. We provided a $20 million Tiger grant for this project, which leveraged millions of other dollars. And I know that you're all thinking about a bike share program. Let me tell you what a bike share program has done in Washington, D.C. on Cherry Blossom Weekend. Now, Washington, D.C. has the largest bike share program in the country. And that means they have the most bikes in any community. On Cherry Blossom Weekend, every bike was rented in Washington, D.C. by people who came there to see the beauty of Washington. That same kind of opportunity can happen right here in your community when you provide those kinds of opportunities. I'm telling you, we're willing to be partners with you in these kinds of opportunities, whether it's transit or bike share or the cultural trail. You're going to have good partners in Washington, D.C. You really are, and we will continue to be your partners.